morning guys. I thought today that we could just spend the day together and do bookish things. I've seen a bunch of my besties do this kind of style of video where they just do a bunch of book related things like book shopping, updating their book journal, reading, all sorts of things. And I have wanted to do one of these for the longest time because it just looks like so much fun. So today we're doing it. We're going to spend the day together and we're just going to do all the bookish things. So I'm thinking we start the day going out for breakfast to one of my favorite cafes, getting one of my favorite breakfasts and a coffee, reading my book at the cafe, then maybe doing some book shopping because there are some books that I've been wanting to pick up. I also desperately need to update my book journal because I haven't updated it in like 2 weeks. And so there are a lot of little updates that we need to make. So I need to go to Officeworks to do some printing. For that, we need to update my book journal. I feel like that's going to take a while. And I guess we'll just see where else the day takes me. Before we officially start our day, I wanted to say thank you to our sponsor today, which is Mejuri, which makes me so happy to say because I adore Mejuri. I've been wearing Mejuri jewelry for years now and I adore them. I am someone who prefers to kind of invest in a few really great quality pieces of jewelry that I can wear every single day than just like get a bunch of different pieces that I switch out all the time. That's just my preference. So these earrings I've had for ages. I've worn them to absolute death, but Mejuri sent me a few new pieces which I am ecstatic about. I got these new earrings which I am absolutely obsessed with. They are just the perfect everyday gold hoops. These are the chunky medium hoops and I got them in gold and they are just the perfect size. They feel so comfortable. I already know that I'm just not going to be taking these off. I also have a couple of new rings. We have this one here, which is the thin dome ring. Again, just a really classic staple. And then I also have the duo ring, which is like 2 rings in one. My friend George has this ring and she completely inspired me to get it. I am influenced by my besties, of course. And she's had this ring for ages and it just looks so cute on her. It also is so fun to fidget with. So I was very excited to get my own. I also have a new necklace. It is so dainty and sweet. It's called the Hue necklace. It sits quite high on my neck, which I really like. And it just has 2 tiny little stones there that sit so beautifully. I love how this looks. I feel like it's so dainty and elegant and classy. I also just love having staple pieces of jewelry that I wear every single day and that just feel like a part of me. I remember growing up, my mum had these specific pieces of jewelry, specifically a necklace that she wore literally every single day, never took it off, and it's something that I just attribute to my mum. And I love the idea of that, kind of like coming up with your own signature look with your own signature pieces. And for me, Mejuri is definitely my go-to for those pieces. I'll leave all of these specific pieces linked down below, as well as just the Mejuri website, because they have so many other beautiful pieces. I really feel like they have something for everyone. Obviously all of the pieces that I showed you are yellow gold, but they also have white gold and sterling silver pieces as well, if that's more your vibe. But again, a huge thank you to Mejuri for sponsoring this portion of the vlog. I just arrived at my favorite cafe and I'm going to go and read my book. This is my current read. This is Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. I literally started it last night and I think I'm about 60 pages in, so not super far, but I am really liking this so far. Like even this morning while I was like getting ready and stuff, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to go to the cafe and read my book because so far it's so much fun. I just love the dynamic and like the banter between the 2 main characters already, and it hasn't even been that much because I'm obviously like just at the beginning. I didn't read the back of the book before I started it, and so it's been really fun just going in completely blind. A very brief synopsis if you want to know. It is about a girl called Rue who is an engineer slash like scientist who works specifically with trying to make fresh produce last longer. I don't know the ins and outs of it. It's all science talk. I'm sure some people understand. I do not. But she works in this business that has recently kind of, long story short, been bought by another business, and that business has like come in and want to just like see what's happening with the business that she works for. And one of the guys that is one of like the founders, I think, of this business that has bought the other business is a guy named Eli that Rue has met once on a date that kind of went wrong, and so they like kind of knew each other very briefly beforehand, and now he's come in and he's like bought her business and she's like, you are the enemy. I think it's going to be kind of that vibe where she's like, you're going to come in and like change everything, and she doesn't want that to happen. I feel like I don't know enough about Eli yet to really know what his plan is, what his goal is with this situation, but it's interesting. And yeah, the dynamic is just really, really good so far, and like the humor is just very up my alley so far, so I'm excited to keep reading and see what I think. I had the best time reading at the cafe this morning. What did I get up to in my book? Let's have a look. This is how far I am through. Page 115. So I read like 50-ish pages at the cafe. I put on my noise cancelling headphones and I listened to classical music and it was elite. That is my favourite reading combo. Headphones, classical music, Gorgina, Bambina. I just got to the shops now and I'm going to do some book shopping. There are some books that I've been wanting to pick up for a little while, so I'm going to pick those up today. There are definitely 2 I want to pick up, and then there are a few others that I'm like kind of wanting to pick up, but I also just don't want to pick up too many at once because I get a little bit overwhelmed when my TBR is like ridiculously full. So we'll probably get a few books today, but nothing too crazy. And then I also have a few other random bits on my list that I need to pick up. I have some gifts that I need to pick up for some friends, and I also need some stitch markers for my crochet because I don't have any. But that's it, so let's go shopping. Getting 3 books. They were all on my list of books that I've been like wanting to get. I didn't get any extras. There are a few that I saw that I was like, oh, that looks really fun, that looks really cute, but I don't know, none of them called to me enough to buy them. But these 3 I've been wanting for a really long time, so super excited. The first one that I got is our new book club book. For the month of June, we are reading Lessons in Chemistry. I'm super excited about this one because I've heard so much about it. I know that it has won a lot of awards. It's like general fiction, almost like historical fiction, right? Because it's 1960s. I'm just really intrigued. I've heard amazing things, so I'm excited to read this one. This was Lang's pick this month, and last time we read general fiction we really enjoyed it, so hopefully this is a great one for us. I feel like general fiction often leads to a good discussion as well, so I'm excited. And then I got 2 other books. The first one, I am so excited about this one. This is Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. This is like a cozy fantasy. It is set in the Cosmere, but from what I've gathered, you can kind of read it whenever. Like it doesn't matter if you read it before a certain series or after a certain series, whereas some of the other books that he has written, like it's more important to read them in a certain order. I've heard mixed things about it. Some people love it, some people are a bit meh about it, but it just sounds like something that I could really enjoy, so I am hoping that I do. And it's not as long as some of his other books as well. I feel like because it's cozy fantasy, it's a little bit less intimidating. I think it was based on a movie that him and his wife watched, Princess Bride? Is that right? I don't know. I feel like it might have been The Princess Bride. I've never seen the movie, so that has no relevance to me personally. And I think he wrote it as a secret project. Like he never intended to publish it, but then people like begged him to publish it, so he did. And I'm excited about it, so hopefully I'll get to that one soon. Do I now have 3 books by Brandon Sanderson on my TBR? Yes. Hopefully we'll get through them in the near future. And the last one that I picked up is another one that's a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I was fully influenced by one of my besties. I picked up The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I've never read anything by this author, but of course she is very popular. And Bestie Sarah read this recently and loved it, and she really convinced me that I wanted to read it too because her reactions while reading were just, I don't know, it just intrigued me a lot. So Sarah, this is 100% because of you, but I'm hoping I love this and then I found maybe a new favorite author, because from the sounds of it, I don't know, it just sounds like stuff that I would really love. Also, look at the spine of this one. Oh, the lighting is awful right now. It's like gold foiling and baby blue. It is beautiful. I'm obsessed with the spine. But those are the 3 books that I picked up. I am so excited about all of them. They're all books I've been wanting to read for the longest time. Very happy with that haul. And then apart from that, I just picked up some stitch markers like I showed you from Spotlight, and also went to Glassons and picked up a new tank. I'm actually wearing one of these tanks right now. It's just the white one, and I actually really like wearing them backwards, so you have the high neckline that usually should be at the back. You have it at the front. It kind of gives like a boat neck kind of vibe to it, which I just love the look of. And I have these white pair of jeans that I absolutely adore, love them so much, wear them so much, but they have brown stitching on them, and I keep thinking to myself, I would really love to have a brown shirt to wear with this because I think it would just match really well. I really wanted to find a brown long sleeve as well, but my Glassons didn't have any in stock in my size, so I didn't grab any, but I just grabbed this brown tank, which I just know I'm gonna get so much wear out of. So like I said, you're supposed to wear it like this, but I often wear mine backwards like this, and I just think it looks really beautiful. So those were my purchases of the day. Also, I'll try and link my jumper down below. This one is from Beginning Boutique. I absolutely adore it. I think it's the cutest ever, and with my like white and red sambas, it looks so cute as well. I feel like I might get questions about this because I posted a little photo on my Instagram of me wearing this, and I got so many DMs asking where it was from, so just in case you're wondering. Good morning, guys. We are actually on to day 2 of this video because I didn't get to do everything yesterday. So I am about to go to Officeworks. I've got all of my little documents on here that I need to get printed. What's frustrating about this is that one, Officeworks is like 20 minutes away. So I'm about to go sit in the car for 20 minutes, go print out 4 pieces of paper, and then drive 20 minutes home. It's a first world problem, very aware, but I'm just like, wow, this is so silly. Number 2, we literally have 2 printers in this household, so you're probably like, Rachel, why the heck are you driving somewhere to get stuff printed? But one of the printers is a black and white only printer. I don't really understand why, but it is. And the other printer is just so bad. Every time I try and print anything in color, it comes out just not looking good. And I am too much of a perfectionist to let my book journal be ugly. So we're gonna go drive 20 minutes because that's what I would rather do. So let's go. I'm obviously home now. I got my printing. I just had some lunch and made myself a coffee. So now I'm sitting in my library room. I've got my reading journal here, and I'm gonna do some updates. I have a lot of cutting to do first up, so I think I'm gonna do this and either listen to an audiobook or watch a vlog. I'm watching Katie is reading right now because she uploaded a new reading vlog, and tell me why she's making me want to read classics. Like I've read classics in my life, and I used to really enjoy classics when I was a lot younger, which is quite bizarre, but I haven't read one in probably at least 2 years at this point. I think I read The Great Gatsby a couple years ago, or reread it. But in this vlog, Katie is reading Persuasion by Jane Austen, and I have never had a desire to read Persuasion by Jane Austen, but she is making me want to read it. I mean, I don't think I'll pick it up anytime super soon, but maybe at some point, I'm not sure. There are so many classics to read. We'll see. Also, can we just take a moment for my sweat set? This came in the mail yesterday, and of course I had to wear it today. I was wearing jeans when I went out, but when I got home I put these sweatpants on straight away. This is a sweat set from Wildflower, and I think this is my new favorite thing that I own. This is the comfiest, coziest, plushiest, most luxurious feeling thing I have ever put on my body, and I'm obsessed. When you guys are watching this vlog, I'm pretty sure these pieces launch tomorrow. This vlog comes out on Thursday. These pieces go live on Friday. I'll try and remember to link them down below. They do also come in another colorway, like a steel gray kind of color, which is also absolutely gorgeous, but the pink has my heart. It really has my heart. This is so beautiful, and the patch is like this vanilla kind of off-white, almost like baby yellow color. So beautiful. This is not sponsored. I'm just so completely obsessed. Message Wildflower, like the brand, and I was like, I think this is the best thing you've ever done. Like, I am so extremely obsessed with this. I'm so happy to be wearing this right now. I feel like I'm just literally wearing a cloud. So very cozy, very happy, ready to do some reading journal updates. Anyway, I'm gonna stop yapping and start cutting. audiobook that I'm listening to. So this is my current audiobook, Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. I haven't read anything by this author before. This is just from my library, like on my library app. I had it on hold for weeks, so I was very excited when I finally got the notification saying that my hold was ready. I think I'm just a little over halfway through and it is really good. I was not expecting to enjoy it as much as I am. It has very like gothic vibes to it. I think if you liked like Belladonna or One Dark Window, you might like it. It is basically following this girl who doesn't have a lot of money and just has a very difficult life. She's also the guardian of her younger brother who is like in high school, I think. And she's always felt this like pull or like this curiosity to this house in her town called the Starling House. And the Starling House kind of has all of these rumors about it. No one really knows what's going on there. No one really knows anything about the people who live there. By the way, it's called Starling House because the family who live in the house, their last name is Starling. But yeah, there's this whole like eerie vibe about this house and she's always had this curiosity and this pull toward it. And one day her curiosity just kind of gets the best of her and she ends up meeting the guy who lives there. Again, very mysterious, very like eerie vibes, but he offers her a job to be a cleaner for the house. And she's basically just like, well, this is going to be really great money and I can kind of quench my curiosity and just like see what the inside of this house is like and see who this guy is. And also just like couldn't say no to the money side of things because it was just really good money for a cleaning job. And she just doesn't have much money, so she can't say no to that. So she starts working at this house, basically as like a housekeeper, a cleaner type situation. And she's just noticing some weird things about the house. It's almost a little bit magical in a way. She is really trying to like figure out just like, I don't want to even say the mystery of the house because she doesn't even know what the mystery is, but she's just like, what is going on here? Like there's something and she just wants to figure it out. So we are just following her as she goes and works in this house, this eerie old kind of like manor, I'm imagining it. Like they say it's kind of all in this like mist, very just gothic vibes. It's really cool. It's very atmospheric. I'm really intrigued. I think there's going to be a bit of a romance to it, or there already is a bit of a romance to it, which is really, really interesting. I think it's a standalone. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I'm enjoying it way more than I thought. And if I continue to enjoy it as much as I am now, I may end up buying myself the physical copy because I don't own the physical copy of the book and I'm really enjoying the audiobook, so we'll see. It's now the next day, but I'm wearing the same jumper because I don't want to take it off. But I finished updating my reading journal. I need to do like a flip through or something soon, showing you like all the pages I've done so far. Maybe I'll do a TikTok or something. But for my 5-star reads, I like to do a little like dedicated page. So I made a little Pinterest board for Funny Story, just with pictures that I thought gave like the vibe of the book, and then I did the same thing for Just for the Summer. I think I want to do some like notes. I haven't written anything yet, but I left a page blank on this side so that I could, I guess, just write my thoughts and maybe write my favorite quotes or something like that. And then I also did a Pinterest board for this one as well, and again just did photos that suited the book and like things that made sense for specific like scenes, like the birthday pancakes and the unicorn floaty and the billboard. And then I also have started doing this type of like wrap-up page instead of what I used to do, which I'll show you what I used to do. I used to do these like written reviews, I guess. So I would write down the name of the book that I read and my rating, and then just write a few sentences about what I thought of the book. However, I hate doing that. I hate writing those reviews. I don't know why I hate it, but I do. And I still haven't even caught up on, like, what month is this? April. I have all of these book reviews to write from April, so I was like, why do I keep doing this to myself? I obviously don't enjoy doing it. I'll catch up eventually, but I'm like, I'm not gonna keep doing this unless it's like a 5-star book or something, like just for the summer, where I'll write my thoughts down, because that just makes more sense to me. So I've started doing, well, first of all, this was my May spread. So this is what happens when I try and print color on my printer. I need to like get new color or something. Instead of writing all of the reviews, I've just decided to print photos and write the star rating next to it instead, which is just a lot easier and I enjoy it a lot more, so I did that instead. Then I created my spread for June. I actually really like how this turned out. I love the little gingham scrapbook paper that I used. I just got it from Kaiser Craft a while ago. And then we have my TBR page, and then my page where I like log all of the books that I've read, and I just did some little blue butterfly stickers, and I'm obsessed with how this turned out. I haven't actually updated this like reading record section yet, but I'll do that soon, I'm sure. And then this is where I will stick all of the photos of all of the books that I read in June, but I'm gonna wait till the end of the month to print out all of the books that I've read, because otherwise I either take up too much space or not enough space, and then there's blank space and it just doesn't really look very cute. Oh, and then this is a new one I did. I decided that it would be interesting. So I'm a type A girly. I love tracking everything. I track and list and organize just everything I do, my expenses, my trips. Obviously I like to track all of the books that I read, the genres that I read, lots of different things when it comes to books. But I decided that it would be fun to look at all of the books that I've bought in the first half of the year, because we're kind of halfway through the year now, and look at like how many I've read out of the ones that I've bought. This doesn't include the ones that have been like sent to me by publishers and stuff. These are just the ones that I have personally bought myself. So if you guys can see, I have a little photo of every single book that I've bought so far this year, and then there's a little circle underneath, and if the circle is coloured in, it means that I have read the book, and if the circle is not coloured in, it means that I have not read the book. So I think, according to my tracker on my computer, because I already tracked this on my computer, but I thought it would be fun to make into a spread, I have bought 46 books this year so far, which is kind of a lot, but I've read 30 of them, so I'm not mad at that. Like, and how many did I buy during my birthday? I think I bought probably like 20 around my birthday. But yeah, I've read 30 out of 46, which, yeah, look, I wish I'd read 46 out of 46, but it's not the worst. And I definitely will be continuing to work on that. And I'll just colour in the circles as I read these books. Obviously, I have books that I've bought before this year that are still on my TBR, so this is like not all the books I haven't read, but anyway, I just thought it would be interesting to track and see like a visual representation of it. So that's kind of like the updates that I have, and I'm glad that I've done that. I also wanted to include footage that I filmed like a week or two ago. I did a little like DIY in my library room, and I recorded it and planned to put it in this video, so enjoy this footage from a couple weeks ago. Welcome to my library room. We are going to do a little bit of a DIY, because although I love how this room looks, it's not done yet, and it won't be done after I do this thing, but we'll be one step closer at least. Obviously I have the mirrored wardrobes along this entire wall, which I do really love, but I do want to make it a little bit more bookish. So I've got this old book that I got from an op shop a couple years ago, but I bought it specifically to do DIYs with. So if you guys saw the like tablecloth that I made out of book pages, this is the book that I used. It's water damaged, it's already half ripped because I've used it for other DIYs, and I'm going to continue to use it today. And my plan is to rip out a lot of pages and cover this panel and one over there and leave this one blank. I think it'll look really good, and I feel like it'll really suit the vibe of obviously the library room. So let's do it. And while I rip out these pages, I'm going to listen to an audiobook, of course. ended up finishing one side and I love how it looks. However, I ran out of pages, or at least I have 3 left, and I also ran out of blue tack, so I'm gonna have to do the other side on another day because, like I said, I want to do this panel and this panel, and I feel like it'll just frame the middle mirror really well and also be really good for filming purposes as well. And it's just such a vibe. I love how this turned out. It looks super fun. Obviously very fun for a library room. Now that we are pretty much halfway through the year, I thought another fun thing that I could give you an update on is my 2024 TBR. So I think I made a video at the beginning of the year talking about the 24 books that I wanted to read in 2024. That is like a little trend that I do pretty much every year, and I think it's a really fun little like challenge, little TBR to create for yourself at the start of the year, like coming up with 24 books that you want to read and just seeing if you can get through them, or at least however many for that year. So I did 22 in 2022, 23 in 2023, and obviously 24 in 2024. So let's give a little bit of an update on that because this is like my official TBR for the year. I have read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I've read 14 out of 24, which I'm pretty happy about because obviously ideally I would be halfway through this list and I'm a little bit over that halfway mark. So hopefully we can continue reading the rest of these this year and hopefully like get through every single one. I don't think I've ever completed one of my annual like yearly TBRs, but as for the books that I have read, I finished The Song of Achilles, Stalking Jack the Ripper, which I loved, that whole series. I read Scythe, which was okay. I haven't continued that series though. One Dark Window, which I loved. The Raven Boys, which I liked but haven't continued the series of yet. I read Project Hail Mary, which I also really enjoyed, and Jade Legacy, finished off the Greenbone saga, which again, really loved that. I finished Saving Six, which was so good. Loved Saving Six. Say You Swear, not so good. That was a 2-star read for me. I read 9 Liars by Maureen Johnson. Absolutely adored that one. I read Good Material, which was fine. I read The Right Move, which was good. I read Really Good Actually, which was also like fine. And I read Finlay Donovan is Killing It, which was not my favorite. It wasn't great to me. So those are all the books that I have read. As for the ones that I still need to get to by the end of this year, a lot of these I have the physical copies of now because I've bought them slowly over the year, but a lot of them are still on my TBR card. So we have The Storied Life of AJ Fickery by Gabrielle Zevin, which I do have the physical copy of, but I have not read yet, obviously. We have Skyward by Brandon Sanderson and also The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. Both of them I haven't read. Final Empire is on my TBR for this month, so hopefully I'll get to that. We also have The Gilded Wolves, which I'm honestly really excited to read, and I think I'll read that kind of soon. And same with Trial of the Sun Queen. They both sound really fun to me and I'm excited to pick them up. Then we have Out on a Limb, which I have on my Kindle. I don't know why I haven't read that one. I think I just forget about the books that I have on my Kindle sometimes. We also have When You Were Everything and The Immortalist, which are both like YA books that I haven't got to yet. I also put All the Light We Cannot See on this list, and I tried to read this one earlier in the year and ended up DNFing it, so I'm not sure if I want to give that one a second chance or not. I think I do, because I think I just like wasn't in the right mood for it at the time, but I think I will enjoy it if I am in the right mood. I'm not sure. TBD with that one. And then the last one I have on this list is A Curious Beginning, and I am really excited to read that at some point. I don't really know when. I'm thinking it might be a Kindle read because I've never been able to find the books physically in Australian bookstores. I know that I could probably just get them on Amazon or something, but I'm thinking maybe I just read them on my Kindle or my Kobo. I'm not sure. But 14 out of 24 I'm pretty happy with, and I reckon we can finish this list by the end of the year. Like, it's definitely attainable. But that is the update on my 2024 TBR. The last thing I wanted to do in this video is give you a little reading update. Oh my gosh, wow, it really matches my jumper. Anyway, I finished both of the books that I mentioned in this video. Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood and also Starling House. So I thought I'd give you like a little mini review. The last update I gave you guys on this book, I was like, I'm about 100 pages in and I'm obsessed. I'm loving it. And that was true. However, unfortunately, it went a little downhill for me after that point. I still enjoyed this book. I think overall I'm going to give it like 3.5 stars, which is like decent. It was good. I had a fun time, but it didn't end up being as good as I initially thought it was going to be based on my first thoughts, I guess. Even though I have criticisms on this book, it's one of those ones where I'm like, I can totally see people absolutely loving this, devouring it, eating it up. It just was a bit of a personal preference issue for me. So overall, my thoughts are, I loved the characters, I loved the plot of this book, the whole like business buying business and like who owned what and all of the contracts and the legalities was surprisingly very entertaining and super interesting to me. The like plot itself, fascinating, loved it. Every time they were talking about like the situation that they were going through as like businesses, I was so enthralled. I don't know why it was very interesting. It's nothing that I've ever really thought about before or like looked into, but it was just a really interesting discussion about doing things because the money is good or doing the right thing, even if it doesn't give you the most money. I really liked the whole situation that went down. My main issue is just that this was a very spicy book, and that is just not my personal preference. I know a lot of people love that, and if you do, I think you'll probably love this book, but it's just not for me. It's not why I read. And so when this book just took a very like physical turn, I guess, it almost became a bit of like, I feel like enemies isn't the right word, and I don't know if rivals is the right word either, but it was like this enemies slash rivals with benefits, kind of like they weren't really friends, like they didn't really get along because they were on opposite ends of this business situation, but they just wanted to sleep together. So I am just personally not a fan of like the friends with benefits, enemies with benefits, that kind of whole vibe. It's not for me, and if it's for you, then read this book, obviously. But yeah, it's just not like my personal preference. But again, it is a personal preference thing. I don't think the book itself was necessarily like bad. I just think it came down to, do you enjoy that kind of trope or that level of spice? And for me, I just don't. And I think it was definitely more spicy than other Ali Hazelwood books that I've read. So I think like 3.5 feels good to me, because it was good. I enjoyed it. It just wasn't like a favorite of mine. I think my favorites from Ali Hazelwood are still Check and Mate and Love Theoretically. Loved those. And then the other book that I finished was Starling House, and I really enjoyed that one. I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. It was just like very atmospheric, very like magical feeling, very eerie feeling. It was just very vibey, and I enjoyed it a lot, and it just took a turn that I wasn't like expecting, I guess, at the end, but really good, really good. I definitely recommend it. I don't think it's the most like fast-paced, action-packed book there is, but if you're just looking for a very atmospheric, gothic, romance slash mystery kind of vibe, I think you'd really enjoy it. I think if you like Belladonna and like House of Salt and Sorrow as well, kind of similar vibes, a bit more contemporary than those, but yeah, very vibey. Really enjoyed. 4 stars from me. But that's all I have to share with you guys in this video. I feel like we've done so many things together, and I honestly had so much fun. I definitely think I want to do more of these videos in the future if you guys enjoy them, but hopefully you guys had fun watching this, and I guess I'll see you guys in my next video very soon. Goodbye.